Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where last episode we exited our war with Uzbek a little bit before I had hoped to. But of course the reason we ended up doing that was primarily due to this rebellion and this pretender down here putting us into a looming disaster. Now I've taken a bit of a look at this looming disaster. Basically the only thing we need to make it go away is to have our stability come up. Let's see here, stability tab, there we go. So unrest lower than 0. So, all we need to do is boost our stability here, and no problem. So that's absolutely great. No internal conflict there. We do need to core 3 of these locations. Of course, 5 of the provinces that we took here were, in fact, already our cores. So we only need to core 3 of them. So that's phenomenal. We did get 8 provinces out of it, so that's not the worst thing, all things considered. We have our forces heading down to deal with these guys, and, I mean, our manpower was starting to get kind of on the low side, so I think that we probably do want to have that happen anyway. But our corruption is really, really low right now, surprisingly. Now, we're not in a position at this moment, unfortunately. We're not in a position at this exact moment to root out the remainder of this corruption, but once we get these rebellions dealt with, we will be. Jampur wants a royal marriage, we accept that. Also, something I noticed, Persia exists now. I'm not sure when that happened. We were probably fighting Uzbek at the time and didn't notice, but Ajam has formed Persia. So that's good to know. Also, I think the Timurids, no, they just annexed up over here. That's right. I was going to say they got more territory, but no, I don't think they did. I think they just annexed their vassal. So that's okay. Uzbek provinces are going to receive +2 unrest for 3 years. Okay, that's fine. We can grab Admin Tech, or rather Miltech 10, and I think that's absolutely great. We get new cavalry, we get new cannon, so that's phenomenal. We'll be ahead of time for 1 year as well. So, sure. We are technically ahead of time in admin and military tech. So that's absolutely great. We can get our upgraded cavalry and our upgraded cannon. Which type of cannon do we want here? I generally prefer offensive pips over defensive pips, but with cannon, I'm not sure how much it really matters. This has 2 shock pips here, whereas this has 2 fire pips and a shock pip in defense only. The shock pips are only in defense. So I think that we take the fire pips here from the culverin. That'll be okay. We can make a state up over here, and we will certainly do so. There we go. I don't believe we need to core that because we already had these cores. So that's phenomenal. We now have autonomy of 0.4 up over here. Basically no unrest as well. Our war exhaustion is going to be a little bit painful on the unrest front. No doubt about that. And they are currently sieging some of these provinces down here. This one will not get separatism due to the fort. However, with them up over here and us on our way in, I'm just thinking here, we might not want to turn down our forts yet, but I suspect we can probably turn down these 2 forts. We don't want to turn down this one just yet because that's preventing separatism out over here. There we go. And then as soon as we arrive here and crush these guys, we'll turn that fort down. Of course, currently our money is primarily going to, like, all of this deficit is going to reinforcing our armies, but that's actually almost done at this point. So that's magnificent. That said, that will not be the case once we get these battles done. We could get a diplomatic insult, CB, or we could lose 5 prestige. We'll take the prestige hit. I don't actually care about making an enemy down over this way just yet. So we're not too concerned about that at this moment. We can come cap over here. This will cap back automatically. So that's okay. We are losing this battle awkwardly against the pretender. Okay. We're going to retreat back to Samarkand. We're going to cap this. And then we're going to have to go fight the pretender army. I did think we were going to win that. They have 7 cavalry. Okay, that's probably... This is in mountains. And this is our smaller army. So that's probably what's going on there. But that's going to be painful for our finances. No doubt about that. But we'll just go get this capped back. Sweden is in civil war. Good job, Sweden. And we should absolutely mothball this fort. There we go. That is now mothballed. No problem there. We are struggling against these guys. Okay. So why is that happening? Well, they have 2 shock pips over our 0 shock pips here. That doesn't help. Even fire pips. They have 2 units of cannon. We have a significantly wider front than they do, but this is probably an issue of flanking range, honestly. So they have probably slightly higher morale than we do. Let's check in here. So, yeah, their base morale is 4.1. And our base morale is 3.6. So that's the core issue there. And then we aren't really able to use our wider front to a huge advantage here because of our flanking range. We're going to win it, to be clear. I don't want to lose a base tax here. So the Emirs can gain some loyalty here. I guess that's okay. Morale of armies minus 10% is, of course, not helpful at this moment, but it's not going to be that big of a deal going forward. We're still going to win this, but we didn't actually stack wipe them. So that's noted. We're going to cap this back and then head in, but they're going to get Kandahar capped. Very awkward. No doubt about that. But they're just pretender rebels, so they don't actually get separatism. And then we stack wipe them. No problem whatsoever there. Fantastic. So that's all well and good. We can now consider... Well, we could consider turning down our land maintenance, except we have more separatists brewing up here, which isn't super shocking considering our current national unrest situation of plus 2.54. War exhaustion is the majority of that. Overextension is a small amount of it, but this is why we wanted out of that war. I think it was absolutely the right call. So we are losing money currently, and corruption is currently growing by a little bit. Increased serfdom, plus 0.1. Okay, noted. So we do need to eliminate this. There we go. Ming just rivaled us. What? Wow, they're weak. Okay, Ming is super weak. Noted. That's interesting. Well, we're going to go park, I think, right here for now with this army. And the question is, when are these separatists going to spawn, and where? So we've got the Punjabi separatists that are going to spawn out over here. We should definitely start heading that direction. We've also got the Multani separatists who would be down over here. Okay, noted. So our war exhaustion is dropping. Arguably, we should boost stability here again. And I'm going to do that. So let's boost up to the next stability level. We're just going to sit on stability level 1 for right now. Iron ore quality problems? Okay, sure. For the moment, that's not the biggest of deals. So that increased serfdom is definitely painful for us at this moment with our corruption. Our corruption is growing. It is definitely not ideal. And we could definitely get an agenda here. So what do we want to go for? A mosque for a base tax is always a good one. Base production in Karshi. This just costs money, whereas this costs diplomatic power. Honestly, diplomatic power is easier for us to come by than money. So let's take this, and we're going to bump that up to level 4. Phenomenal. And that should allow us to seize land, which we will absolutely do. Phenomenal. There we go. There's a bunch of cores coming in, all 3 of them, and we can now make our state up here, which we can then core all of those. Phenomenal. That will, of course, allow us to drop the autonomy over here. So that's looking good. No problem there. We are nearly capped out on our armies here. 653 will go to the armies this month. We're making money right now, though. So that is great. If we go to our workshops, we can see 0.11. There's actually a few decent workshops here. There are no fantastic mosques to build at this time. But we could actually build a couple of workshops if we so desired. And I kind of do so desire. I'm going to build 1. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to cancel that first. Reason being, we have debt right now. So we want to repay this debt. That's going to be 224 right now. Okay. Military access from Hassa. We'll decline that for the moment. Improvements in trade technology. Actually, we'll take the dip power. Half a point of inflation is mildly painful, but it'll do. And we could, at this point, grab trade range, but I'd like to bump up our dip tech and get that caught up. we're no longer ahead of time in our admin and military tech, but that's to be expected considering that we've got this colonialism issue. Although colonialism is starting to get close, so that is good. It's actually beginning to spread in our country here. So we like that a lot. We're at plus 15 institution spread at this moment, and we're going to let that start to expand into our country a little bit. So that all looks good. No problem there. The question now becomes, when are these guys actually going to pop? Well, war exhaustion's getting a lot better. Default stability is now down below 0. So if we look down over here, Margala's 3.6, Karor is 1.2. This is getting a lot less likely to happen. This is still likely to happen. And this is, in fact, the most likely to happen. However, this is... Banu's at 0 because we're in Banu, right? No, we're next to Banu. Okay, so let's head down this direction. We will take attrition down here. The pilgrims are safe, apparently. That's great. And we're going to head down here where we will take attrition. The question is, do we want to, like, provoke these guys? It would only be 12 regiments. I think we provoke it just to get it done with right now. I did the wrong one. Okay. We should unmothball this fort to prevent the separatism there. And then go up there and fight them. I don't know if they would have capped that before we got there. No, they wouldn't have. Okay. So this was not necessary, but it was still a precaution that I'm glad we took, just in case. So we win that, and then we can do the same thing down over here. Let's get going down this way. We're at 80% right now. I want to provoke this one as well. So we're going to provoke them, and we're going to just head right on down here. Phenomenal. Yeah, they're a little stronger, but we want to control when these are going to happen because we want to just have this over with, right? We've got the Baluchistani separatists as well. Let's see. This is 3.8 in Mashhad, huh? Do we think that's actually going to end up happening? Where is Mashhad? That is up over here. What is the reasoning for this? Non-accepted culture, intolerance, war exhaustion. So the non-accepted culture and intolerance are not going to be going away anytime soon. This is Khorasani for its culture. We may want to consider doing some cultural acceptance here. Afghan, Khorasani, both of those would be good. We can spend dip power on this, absolutely. So we can get these boosted up, and that will help matters a lot out here in Mashhad. So that's now at 1.8. 0.84 of that is due to war exhaustion. So now we've got that intolerance. Yeah, that's going to be a little rough. It's because they're Shia. Okay. So next up, we probably do want to provoke this revolt. So that'll be 13 regiments. They spawn right here. Okay, we're going to go attack them. So we'll get that out of here. No problem. There we go. We outnumber them decently. And we just want to get that provoked to get it out of the way. Phenomenal. So that's now one. And we can head up and station up in Mashhad. In the meantime, I'm potentially interested in converting Mashhad to Sunni. Unfortunately, minus 5.4%. It is a religious center of Shia. That makes it very tough. Very tough indeed. There's not really much we can do here. So, mysticism is the direction to go if we want the missionary strength. Legalism is really the direction to go right now, though. I would really vastly prefer going in the direction of legalism. Do we have any decisions we can make? Yes, we can move towards legalism right now. And the reason why... Ooh, I don't want to convert to Sikhism. The reason why we want to go towards legalism here is primarily for the tax benefits. That's the primary reason why I want to go this route. So that'll absolutely be great. That is not going to help our ability to convert these provinces, but that will be absolutely phenomenal. We can repay our loan, which we will happily do. And now we're reinforcing our armies, right? That's why we're negative here. And now that we're basically done with our manpower, now that we've used all of it up, we are going to continue to see this number improve. So that's all great. We're just going to park up here in Mashhad for right now. Actually, we're going to park next to Mashhad. We're going to park out over here. And now what I want to do is I want to turn down our army maintenance down to about here. And I want to root out corruption nearly fully. So we're going to root it out to around here. This is not going to take very long to get rid of our corruption. So that's absolutely great. Let's get that going. Let's get the corruption dealt with. That'll be fine. Phenomenal. What do we want here? A skill 3 statesman that's 50% cheaper to employ. Plus 1 diplomatic reputation. I mean, the power would be useful, but we need cash to sustain that. We're not in a position to do that as of right now. So that's not a thing that we can do. We could theoretically add some policies here, but, you know, we don't have our idea groups finished. We should definitely consider putting more power into idea groups because we have reached the maximum on colonialism malice. So plus 50% is painful, right? And dip tech, we need to get 1 additional tech on. So that'll be fine. And then we can start working our way through these ideas. But what we really want here is institution spread. We can see in Moghastan it's already at 43%. So that's spreading reasonably well, all things considered. No real problem there. And how much are we reinforcing our troops per month? 15 per month? Okay. Yeah, that's not very many. We need a grand total of 3,636 to fully reinforce. Our corruption is virtually gone, though, and it will be gone very, very, very soon. So that's phenomenal. That is absolutely great. There's a rebel uprising brewing, Kazakh separatists. That is these guys up over here. Okay. We're reasonably fine with this, so we're going to bump our army maintenance all the way up, and we're going to turn our rooting out of corruption down to about here or so. I'm going to move these guys northward, and we're just going to provoke these. I want to get this done as soon as possible. I want to control when these separatists fire. I want it to be not necessarily now, but very, very soon. We're going to... Oh, we lost this military leader. That's rude. We could roll up a new one, or we could give our ruler military command. How's our ruler's stats? Our ruler is 245 with no legal heir. Okay, that's mildly awkward. It's good military stats. No doubt about that. I think we'll roll up a general here because of that. That'll be okay. Let's give this 1 more month tick. There we go. And now I want to provoke this revolt. 13 regiments. Boom. We're going to head on up and fight them. No problem. When is this battle going to occur? 25 June? Actually, let's wait and arrive on 2 July. There we go. Phenomenal. Even if we get separatism there, I think that's worth it, but I don't think we will. Yeah, because that way we get the morale tick. That'll be absolutely great. Phenomenal. So now we can move back down. We can turn our maintenance back down as well. So we can put our maintenance here, rooting out of corruption about here or so. Hello, pause menu. And I want these guys to move a bit, I think. Yeah, supply limit of 26 over here. That's significantly better. So we'll put them there so that we don't take that attrition. And that'll be absolutely fine. 3,000 men to the armies. Sure. Looks good. So our provincial unrest is still a little bit up, particularly down here. What is the supply limit down here? Do we have any decent supply limit provinces here? No. Okay. These are all kind of grim down this way. I think we send this army down here if we're going to send any army down here. So we're going to do that. We're going to put these guys back up at Samarkand. That'll do for right now. Phenomenal. So we've got our internal issues virtually dealt with at this point, right? Now, bringing our legalism up, we're not actually interested in dropping corruption. Actually, we kind of are, though, aren't we? Because this gives us free money, kind of. It gives us a free payout. But is it worth losing the tax modifier? Tax manpower technology modifier. That is something we would have to figure out if it's worth it to us. I don't know the answer to that. We could definitely hit this button, or rather, we would debase our currency and then hit the button, and we get 233 instant gold for free. It might be worth it at particular times, but I think broadly we're not going to want to do it unless we have a specific reason for getting that money. I think that's the way that that's going to end up going. So that'll be fine. We've got about 10,000 manpower right now, gaining 744 a month. That's looking very solid. I want to check in on our land force limit. Okay, 47 out of 49. I like it. We do need to bring up the size of this army, and that is going to cost 76 total gold. So that'll be a little bit. We're letting these guys build up for the moment. We may provoke them, but right now I'm not particularly interested in provoking them. Chagatai rivaled us. Okay, that's fine. We're not too concerned about that. We've got plenty of friends. We're in a reasonable position here diplomatically. So that's completely okay. I do want to check in to see missionary strength. Okay. Royal marriage offer from Hormuz, we accept that. We could use all of the legitimacy growth that we could get. That would be great. And we're at 109 gold right now. 16.68. Oh, our corruption hit 0. Okay. So with our corruption hitting 0, that's phenomenal. I'm just going to put rooting out corruption at maximum here. Now, our corruption is still going up by 0.1 because of increased serfdom, so this is still costing us 1.66 monthly. But we can now crank our army maintenance and be making money. So this is phenomenal. Government reform progress, prestige, and admin power? Or 100 military power. 40 admin power or 100 military power. I honestly feel like the military power is more valuable right now. We have a decent chunk of admin power, and we don't have a huge amount to spend it on right now because we went for 2 trees here. We could go for the land leader shock, but making our way towards that national supply limit modifier would be really, really good. So I think we're going to continue down the quantity tree for the moment. That'll be okay. So we're going to give this a couple more months here, and we'll see when these guys decide to spawn. 1.4 years, apparently. Okay, it goes up to 90. I'm going to spawn them now. So they're going to get 11 regiments, and we're right here. We're ready to eliminate them. Phenomenal. And no problem whatsoever with that. Excellent. We also gained siege ability plus 15% out of that. Not bad at all. So let's head back northward here. And we could invest in a trade idea, but I really do want to get our dip tech up. We've been neglecting our dip tech for a bit, and we should probably bring that up. No doubt about it. So that's all fine. Since we have these maxed, we can have these guys be drilling at this point. And that's phenomenal. We're really, really happy that we can have our armies drilling. The next step here will be to conform this to template. Now, that is going to incur extra costs. It's absolutely correct about that. But I think we can afford it. Let's do it. So that'll be great. We'll conform that up to the template. We can also build ourselves a workshop in Mashhad, and that would be a really solid workshop to build. Unrest here is down to 0.4. Not bad at all. We do have too few rivals, and who do we want to rival? Chagatai? Probably Chagatai, to be honest. Yes. They're minus 83% on army. Oh, they're really, really hurting. They're allied with Kazan and Malwa. They're no longer allied with Uzbek. Okay. I think you know where I'm going with this. They're behind us in a mill tech. We have no CB. So we should definitely be building a spy network up here and fabricating on Chagatai. No doubt about this. We're going to be wanting to build up our manpower a bit here. Move towards legalism, absolutely here. That'll be fine. And, of course, the Dhimmi are kind of upset at us right now. Chagatai is no longer a valid rival for us, which makes sense. Like, given what we just saw? Yeah. And given this? Yeah. I'm not shocked about that. So for the moment, we need to build up our spy network, but I'm very interested in attacking Chagatai right now. I think this is absolutely a good plan. assuming that we can get a CB before this changes on us, right? Assuming they don't get this under control. So we're gaining 764 manpower per month. We're drilling up our armies, which is always great. Our current army drill is, 8%, but it's... Okay, they did get that under control. Noted. But they're definitely... There goes most of their army. Minus 99 prestige. I think they just declared bankruptcy. They just disbanded a bunch of armies and are at 99 prestige. If they just declared bankruptcy, we need to do this. I'm going to position these guys here. It's not great for the supply limit, but that'll be fine. We're not going to be there too long. We're working our way up on the spy network here. We almost have enough. We can also grab Admin Tech 11 if we really wanted to. I think we should. We will be ahead of time for 7 years. That will help our corruption and our production efficiency. So let's do that for the time being. And we'll need to build up our admin because we're going to need it going through here. No doubt about that. We'll be better off to stand up here in Kokand. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll still take attrition, but it'll be less attrition. We're going to continue to head towards legalism here. 738 per month. Okay, looks good. Colonialism has appeared in Moghastan. That is phenomenal. And we've just built buildings as well. So we gain 50 admin power, and we get 10 yearly tax income for 25 years. That's really strong. We'll absolutely take that. Okay, so that's phenomenal. We're just waiting at this point on this particular spy network. 1 month tick on that. So, okay, we can currently get an agenda, and would that actually get us enough? Maybe. What is the proposal of the Dhimmi? Base manpower at least 3? We can do that. Okay, we're going to bump those up. Phenomenal. They gain 10 loyalty. It's not quite enough to push us up and over. That would be in 2 months. Okay, I'm going to give this a 2-month tick. But I want to fabricate a claim up over here. We want to fabricate on Uzkend. It's the highest development province here. Okay. And these guys are going to be up over 50 next month. Really? Rebel Uprising? What are you guys doing? Bakar? Rude. I'm going to bump up their autonomy here. Or rather, bump down their autonomy. No, bump up. That's the way we want to go. I don't want to do this. But I'm going to do it. It's low development. This isn't going to do a lot, but it will make this faction go away. We have other plans for our military right now. So we're just going to do that for the moment. And that'll tick down over time. That's fine for the moment. We can seize this land, which we're going to do right now. That gives us more absolutism and reform progress growth, which is, fine. But what we really want to do right now is declare on Chagatai. So Yarkand will join, of course. Malwa will join as well. That's these guys down here. Nogai, Hormuz, and Jaunpur are not interested in joining. So what is the strength of Malwa? They're Miltech 8 with 32k. I'm honestly not very scared of them. Chagatai has 11k, but we know they just declared bankruptcy. And if we go in here, it doesn't actually say what all the bankruptcy penalties are. Okay. Well, there are a lot of them. I believe it's like a 50% morale of armies penalty or something like that. It's insane. Yarkand is a vassal, and they're Miltech 8, so yeah, I think this is pretty free, to be honest. I don't see any way that this really goes badly. It is, however, time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to fight Chagatai, Yarkand, and Malwa, but we're not too interested in Malwa. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.